Okay, here we are, August 7th, day 2, scrolling down. You'll notice that we've got a couple of things and resources here. Lesson plan again. We're just reviewing Canvas quizzes with Lockdown Browser, email etiquette, introducing Canva for education, creating an Instagram post of the student's 6-word memoir, reinforcing the use of Canvas and digital protocols, and then finally introducing students to the Jesuit Schools Network and our connection via our Faith Crest. So today, like I said, it becomes less and less heavy, So as we begin, and really quickly, let me go back. As we remember, intellectually distinguished is sort of what we hope, and then some follow-up things are written in the lesson plan and then also the to-do list. So we're here, it's Intellectually Distinguished Day, have the students turn to day 3. I know it's day 2 of it Accelerated, but this would be day 3 of summer session, page 28, and connect this quote. You have the music there. We want to review the sushi pay, see if they remember the first line, take Lord and receive all my liberty. We'll go through the norms. This time we want to pick a norm that's best for a test-taking environment. We're going to review our grad values. What was the one we did yesterday? Hopefully they got open to growth. And now today, day 2, we're focusing on intellectually distinguished. Have a student read that. Go over the agenda for the first part of class. We're going to do a Canvas check, Teaser Tuesday, quote discussion, Canvas quiz and count off, and 6-word memoir. So during this homework check, we want them to take out their phones and have the Canvas app, Genius Scan app, and PowerSchool app available and open. As they do that, we also want them to go and open their computers 90 degrees, go to Canvas, go to Are You a Wordsmith? They need to click on submission details, which is in the upper right-hand corner, to check the comment section. So hopefully you have written a comment for them to check. They're going to send a comment back to you, and then they're going to put the laptop lid 45 degrees. As they do that, I'll fix the video. Once they're done doing that, I should say, you should pass out the Skittles, and they can work on the Skittle dyad, which is color-coded. Sometimes I like when facilitators model. Other times I love when a facilitator takes their own Skittles and picks a color and then asks somebody in the class to tell a favorite achievement, favorite food. One that I really enjoyed from Jason's class was asking about their favorite fast food and what's their typical order. After they've done that for about 7 minutes, then we're going to go ahead and look over this quote discussion. You might want to discuss who is John Wooden, who's John Wooden sitting with, and talk about the pyramid of success, but also what's the quote, how does this connect to them, students as CY1, to Loyola, and to teachers in general. Then we're going to work on a Canvas quiz. This Canvas quiz is open note, open partner, even though Lockdown Browser will lock down the browser. So we're going to go Canvas landing page, select CY1 week 2 quiz, and then wait for the access code. I really love this count-off game, and there's a tutorial that I'll be sending you, but essentially, however many students that are in your class, maybe there's 17, see if they can count to 17, or maybe 34 if you want to do double the numbers, and give them some rules. They can't count in consecutive order, so I can't be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in a circle. You can't come up with strategy. You have to somehow get to 17 or 34 without interrupting one another. So let's say Randy, John, and I are playing, and I would say, hey, I can do up to 2 numbers. I'll go 1, 2. And let's say Randy and John say 3 at the same time. We have to start over. I always recommend you do a couple of practice rounds, and then you see what's the highest number they can get. This is a great activity to continue to do day 3 if you need to kind of break the ice. Then we're going to talk about 6-word memoirs. They had written in their module scavenger hunt why their life story or why they chose Loyola. Now we're going to take that and you're going to replace my image with their 6-word memoir. And so they'll have about 20 minutes to work on this. We really want to encourage students to make something that is aesthetically pleasing. Their first draft is not always their best draft. So really encourage them into creativity. What's the level up? Making sure yours looks really beautiful can also be helpful. After that, give them a 10-minute break, and we'll get into the Faith Crest, a history, and some presentations. So first, we want to talk about the Jesuit Schools Network, and that Loyola is part of a larger group of schools. You will need an Educate Modus account in order for this to work. So I'm logging in right now, and this interactive map is really incredible. If we look at schools, we have universities, Fe en Alegría schools, which are mostly in South America, and the JRS, which is the Jesuit Refugee Services that are in all places. Then you can see all the schools. I like to just scroll the map and say, like, ask students, like, what country do you want me to check out? Or what do you notice? Wow, there's 270 schools in India. That's the most Jesuit schools. Sorry, it's glitching for me right now. There you go. And then even universities, 62 universities is pretty unheard of. We only have 27 in the United States. So just really exploring and looking around, seeing, oh, Australia has one university but does not have one in Papua New Guinea. What's going on over here, right? And so we even have some schools on these islands, right, in Micronesia. So even places that I didn't even really know existed, we can see that we're part of a much larger network. I always think it's fun to find Loyola as well. So kind of scrolling in and, here we are in the United States. There are 82 schools, not universities. And the further we get down, we see more information. And there's Verbum Dei, which is our brother's school. And then if I again go up, we'll find Loyola High School of Los Angeles. And these maps are actually pretty detailed. Like we can see St. Thomas and Bishop Connolly, which are kind of in the same neighborhood as us. So once you've kind of done some exploring, we want them to reflect, like, what does Loyola represent to you? What stories have you heard about Loyola? Give them some time to think about that, write it down, talk with their elbow partner, and then discuss, like, what are you hearing? And the reason why representation is so important is because symbols are relevant and powerful, and they're generally universally recognized. So this class is now the newest symbol of our community. Again, we talked about co-authorship yesterday. Today we're really talking about how you also represent who we are. And so what do I mean by that? Like, what is this symbol? Chanel. Excellent. What does it represent? Luxury. Beautiful. What's the symbol? McDonald's. What that's, maybe not quality food, but fast and easy food. What about this? Target. It's hitting the bullseye every time you're going to get what you need. Mac or Apple. You could say innovation. Mercedes, again, luxury, comfort. Nike. The idea of just do it. It's a ubiquitous brand. It's understood as being high-end athletic wear. Honda, right? Reliable. And then Loyola. And all the different stories that they did in that previous slide could be what they represent. But this crest is one of the most visual representations of who we are. So first we want them to sort of jot down, what do coat of arms do historically? And what do we notice about this particular coat of arms or crest or shield? What do we notice that it represents? Give them a 1 point. Music, so you might have to pause it or just mute it. The crest also first appeared on campus in the stained glass door at the entrance of Rupert Hall. It's kind of hard to see, but we can see the outline of the crest. And so then we're going to go over the meaning. The L stands for Loyola. I'll go to the number 3. We have the blue and white striped field. Those are our school colors. What's most interesting about our crest is actually the cardinal and gold colors because they represent the Onás family. That's Ignatius's father's side. And what's really cool about this is we have this image of 2 wolves in a cauldron. And there was this big famine in the Basque country in España where St. Ignatius was from. And they were so generous that they were even able to feed the wolves during a time of great famine. And as a Spanish teacher, what I really love about it is sort of the wordplay. So we have how do you say wolf in Spanish, which is lobo, and then you add how do you say pot or cauldron in Spanish, and that's olla, and when you put it together, it becomes loboya or loyola. And what's really beautiful about that is it's this portmanteau, and that's a great thing for students to learn. Like we've got Pocket Monster is a great example, Pokemon or Pocket Monsters, and that's a great portmanteau that we see and understand really well. So actually, Loyola has a portmanteau, which is lobo plus olla. Then we want to compare the different, what do we notice? How are they different? How are they similar? They're all named Loyola. What are we seeing? And then finally, we're going to have students research across our network and really learn that we're part of something that's similar but also greater than ourselves. So they're going to go in, each team or quad is going to have one school from Bellarmine to Bellarmine, Washington, Sacred Heart. And what's great about this slide deck is that all the information is there. They just have to eliminate it and fill it. So when it says snapshot of the school, location should be replaced, with the actual location. Demographics should be actually replaced with the demographic information. Summary and analysis of the mission should also be in there. And then they'll delete this and they'll add a crest. So they're really going to give us a quick, pithy presentation about a school that's in our network. They're going to get 2 minutes to present. That's why there are timers here. And what's beautiful is that every single student has to speak to this. So it's a team effort to make an amazing slide deck in under 15 minutes. Once they do that, we'll do presentations, and then they know that their Canva, if they didn't finish already, they need to finish that 6-word memoir and submit it by 10 a.m. tomorrow. And that is day 2.